Michael,
Yeah,
how you doing?
good,
I
good.
like your I like your jacket.
Yeah, yeah, I do
Yeah,
too.
Have you had a good couple days so far?
Yeah, I did. I had a lot of fun. I met a lot of big people that I didn't know who they were.
Whereas was it okay? Sometimes when I meet a lot of new people, it gets overwhelming, but it's also fun.
was overwhelming.
Yeah.
Not really. It was kind of like I don't know who you are, and let me learn a little bit about you. I get to learn someone new.
I love it. It makes me so. It's one of the best things about running in organized running events. So, what's your plan for tomorrow? Have you thought about? Are you going to win? I mean, what are we talking about?
Yep.
Yeah.
What's the weather? Is it, when I was there, it was so cold and so rainy and windy. What does it look like for you guys?
It's really nice out. It's sprinkling a little bit. It's not pouring, but it's sprinkling enough where it feels nice, where it feels like nice, but not so much where it's putting weight on you and making it hard.
So yeah, the
Well, I think
forecast for tomorrow is mid 50s with chance of rain. But the rain
because
looks like it's coming later in the day. So should be able to get a couple hours into the marathon before it hits.
that's great. And you, I guess it's the bus down there, or how are you going to get down to
Yeah.
Hopkinton?
So they've got a special bus for him. And it's an interesting kind of so they have a para athlete bus that will handle all of his like drop bag, get him to the start, and they have a special staging area that's right by the start, so he doesn't have to walk through village or anything. And then at the end, he'll get to go in the VIP tent to collect his stuff.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
So when the idea of you running the Boston Marathon for Run Third came up, it was not the normal amount of training time. How has your training felt? Do you feel like you're ready, or how do you feel?
Yeah, I feel like I'm ready. The big thing. So one thing I did want to say when I did hear, hey, you're running the Boston Marathon for like a month or two, I was like, I actually didn't believe that I was going. I thought it was like, hey, it's a little joke, but he still do the marathon. I was like, I thought it was a joke, but throughout the time for training, training's been doing very good. I started out with 13 miles, and that one was hard, and then the 17 and so on became easier. And then my last one was a 23 mile, where that one I did pretty well on.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you can do 23, then 20 with all the emotion and excitement of the day, it'll be the danger is if you run too fast.
Yes,
You know, I don't know how
that's Emily's job, and he knows that, and she's
Yeah.
already warned him that he might not be happy the first few miles when she says, "Rein it
Yeah.
in."
Yeah.
It'll pay off.
I think I did in my first LA marathon. I think my first mile was like a 9.5 minute mile. My second mile was like a 7.5 minute mile, and then it went to 12 minute miles after that. Like, you just think you can keep up with everybody that's running fast. It's like, no, run your own race. Well, it just makes your heart happy for you and for the organization. You know that there's such a great marriage of a human being who is able to benefit from it and who's now giving back to it, so I want to thank you very, very much on behalf of the organization for you agreeing to take on our challenge. And I'll say this, maybe in 12 hours from now, you're going to know that it's very, very real. It may not have seemed real at first, but it's going to seem super real. Will you please give my kind regards, say hello to your family for me and your friends, and tell them that I'm thinking about all of them, because everybody's excited for you. I don't know if you realize it, but there's a lot of people, when we run, we're in our own mental space. But the fact is, a lot of people, I saw the news clip of you, and I saw the was there a newspaper thing too or something?
Yep.
I read those, and I read that, and I watched the video, and you're inspiring a lot of people
Yeah.
just by being who you are as a human being and setting a goal and participating and giving back. And it's just, so when I started Run Third, it was very important to me that it create opportunities for other people to feel good. And don't forget to make a nice little list tonight of who you want to dedicate your run to. And you
Yeah.
don't have to tell anybody if you don't want to. You can tell if you want to, whatever, but just so you can keep some people in your heart when you're running.
Mm. I did get an envelope that did have a name and it was something, so that I was like, hey, that's the first name that popped into my head when I got here, was the person in that envelope who, I don't know if he has seen that one.
Mm-mm.
No. So there was an envelope and it was a grandpa or something, like grandma. And her grandson died, and she's like, hey, I'm very happy. I'm watching your story, and you're very inspiring. And I'm like, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Mhm.
And yeah, and
There's
her,
a lot of people. Well,
his
go ahead, Mindy.
age, her grandson would be his age, and his birthday was this weekend. And so,
Very emotional.
but yeah.
Yeah. Well, now that you're a formal ambassador, for Run Third, you're running on behalf of our group. And this is I'm sort of joking because anybody can do it, but you can think of lots of people. You can think of the people. You think of, every human being, or everybody who is affected by whatever feels right to you. I learned over time what it means to be able to dedicate my mind and my heart to other people. And I realized that there's really no limits. There's no rules. There's no limits. You get to do what you want to do. And so I just, I encourage you on that journey as well. Mindy, you got anything you want to share?
I was just gonna say, yeah, we've been trying to make the most of this weekend and done a lot of firsts. He went to his first baseball game today.
Yeah.
We got to see the Red Sox win.
Yeah.
We did
it was that tall building during that war. It was the Freedom Trail.
Yep, we did the Freedom Trail.
The Freedom Trail. Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
I don't know. Did Mindy tell you how you were chosen?
Just by like, hey, we think he's good. Let's pick him.
That's right. Well, we have been talking about
more about the inspiration that you put out, like how inspiring you are in the situation.
Yeah, but specifically, we were at our retreat, our board retreat, and Mindy and I, it was the end of the day. We were trying to think, well, maybe we should get a celebrity to run. And I said, well, is there anybody special in the group that jumps into your mind right away who's gone through Run Third? And she said, well, there's Michael's pretty amazing. Like, just like that. So that's the kind of an impact that you made on her. And, you know how many people Mindy inspires with her hard work. So
yeah,
we're in an inspirational loop right now, and let's just enjoy it and have a great, I call it, it's a run, but I think of it as a ride. Like, have a great ride tomorrow. That I think of it as you're the vehicle. So enjoy your Boston Marathon ride. And I'm so you got to meet Dave McGillivray.
Yeah, the race director.
Oh yeah,
we listened. He gave a little presentation / interview that was really cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I part of his that I did like was when you want to grow, what do you want to do when you grow up, and it was a accomplisher. That I very much like that.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
And
that is absolutely awesome.
Story about becoming an athlete and his
what I thought when I saw the picture of you with Dave, and I know you have some ideas about maybe running across the country. Yeah. When you finish your run across the country, and then looking at the picture of the two of you, that's going to be pretty. That's going to be pretty special, little touchstone in your journey to as you follow your dreams. So, I wish you well. I'll look for updates tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah, and you got to meet Joan Benoit Samuelson and some of the elite men that are going to be here tomorrow, including one of the para athletes who has won a couple times, and
Yeah, and
Joan
then
Benoit, I listen to her on my Nike Plus all the time. I feel like I
Yeah.
know Joan Benoit. Yeah, yeah. What? That's so special. You got to meet everybody. You got a great host there. Mindy knows her way around.
yeah. Basically, that was luck. It's we showed up at the finish, and it was like, hey, here are these people, and it was like perfect timing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
And then, yeah, we were out on a little shakeout run Saturday morning when we ran into Joan. I was like, hey, do you know who that is? He's like, I said, I'll tell you all about her. Let's go get a picture and then I'll give you the story. Yeah, it's
Love
been
it.
fun. And he's really been making the most of it. And it's just been fun to see him smiling through the whole process and taking it all in. And can't wait to see what comes next.
Yeah.
Makes me so happy.
Yeah.
Well, is there anything you want from anything else you want me to answer or say?
He's run it. Do you have any questions about the course?
He ran
Or
a
what
Boston Marathon.
Yep.
Um,
What the course is like, or any strategies or advice?
well, here's what I know for his strategy and advice. Maybe he can add on to it. Don't take it too fast. Have it where when you're going downhill, let gravity do its thing. When you're going uphill, push a little bit so it's well. And then once you're done with the uphill or downhill, go to your needed pace.
Okay.
Choose when needed. Drink water when needed. Anything else you'd recommend?
Well, one of the things about marathon running is you're not supposed to change too much on the day of the race that you haven't already, been working with. But there are a few things that you can keep in mind. One is listen to your body. When it's an exciting day with an exciting race, Boston Marathon, your emotions can run away with you. So if you're feeling something in your body, listen to it. If you need to back off a little, it's not a failure to back off a little. You know what I mean? Like, do you have a specific time in mind or a specific pace in mind?
Okay.
Hey there.
Hi, Sean. How are you?
This is Dad.
Good. Nice to see you. Thank you so much for participating in this way.
Oh, not a problem. It's kind of fun, actually.
That's good. Well, we were just about to get into the nitty gritty detail of running, and it's so funny. I mean, I haven't really been running at all for years now, and I miss it so much. And every time I start, it's like, oh boy, it's the start of a journey to get back to where I can be. But when I think about your conditioning, where you're at now, do you have a time that you're shooting for or a pace that you're shooting for?
It was 4 hours. Now it's around before 4:30. Before 4.
Right. So if you don't worry about the time, if it's helpful to you and it keeps you motivated, that's great. But if you go a little faster or you go slower, it doesn't matter. It really, really, really doesn't matter. What really matters is that you're feeling good. You know what I mean? You don't want to come across the finish line totally beat up. If you do, that's okay too. There's no rules, but I just want to encourage you not to let any sort of negative stress or energy get in your way. Just let yourself enjoy yourself. And I think it's at mile 18, there's a hill that most people talk about, Heartbreak Hill or something like that. Is that right, Mindy? 18?
Yeah, and it's right. It's actually like 1920, because when you
right
get to the top of it, it's a little less than a 10K to go.
Right, but there's one hill there in that area that's kind of steeper than the other. There's no real steep hills, but it's a little bit of a steeper hill. And a lot of the marathoners, talk about how brutal it is. I was going too slowly to really mind it. By the time I got there, I was so tired. But with me, I remember Meb say, he said when he doesn't wear glasses or a hat and it's raining and the rain was in his face, he said he expended a lot of energy closing his eyes to get the wind out of his face. So he just put on glasses and he put on a little hat, and that made it kept a little bit of the rain out of his face, and he could conserve that energy a little bit. So when I would have thought the opposite, I would have thought, oh, you want to be as light as possible or something. So, but anyway, that won't bother you. You'll just you'll just go out there and have a good run. The thing about waters and goos and stuff is, regular intervals rather than drink as much water as you can because you're tired at the station and now you're like bloated. But also you want to stay hydrated. Don't skip a station if you if you need it. So if you're really thirsty, it's too late. You know what I mean? So you gotta anticipate that. But anyhow, this is just an old guy who used to run, throwing out old ideas. I'm sure he got good stuff.
To your point, yeah, we keep kind of saying don't worry about the time because this is his very first marathon. So whatever time he gets, it's a PR tomorrow.
Yeah.
He'll be setting a new
Nice.
PR.
Yeah, and there's no as a runner, you shouldn't reasonably have any expectations for yourself because you haven't had time to train properly.
Yeah.
If you train for something 6 months out and you pick a goal and you're training for that goal and it's competitive, you don't want to like walk backwards or something. You want to do your run the way you're going to do it, and it's Boston, so you want to care about yourself. But some people put more emphasis on time than is logical. So given what's going on, the fact is, no matter how quickly or no matter how not quickly you run, your people are still grateful for you. They're still grateful for the fact that you are taking your time to do this big challenge, and that you've thought of them and you're letting your experience, your life experience, be a public story that people can that helps us raise money for what we're doing for the other students and the other programs. So anyhow, I'll just say goodbye and just wish you well and have fun. That's the most important thing. More than anything anybody will ever tell you, have fun.
And yeah, and you're showing so many people that anything is possible and not to limit themselves. And yeah, an awesome
Well,
job.
it's funny because I think of it in two ways. I think of the way in which you, with your health challenges, inspires other people, and that's what they are thinking about when they're inspired by you. But then I just think about you, who probably not thinking about your health challenges. You're thinking about the run. You're thinking about what you want to be doing, and that's a good thing.
Yep.
It's a good thing. That's the whole point of Run Third is first, I run first for myself. I run second for my wife and family, and I run third for other people. So remember the self part. It's very important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Mwah. I'm going to sign off.
Your time. Good seeing you.
All right.
Yeah. Be good. Bye, guys. Have fun.
Yeah.
Bye.